New Radio Sports Network and 105.1 The GOAT as we get ready for the second round of the WIAA baseball tournament. It's going to be the first game of the tournament run for the Gibraltar Vikings. And we are joined right now by the head coach, Jay Kita. And, Coach, first of all, obviously coming into this tournament as the number one seed, or as the number one seed in your region, what's been what was your message last week as you talked to your players preparing for, whoever came out of that game against Sevastopol and NEW Lutheran ends up being the Pioneers this afternoon in Fish Creek?
Well, we got to stay upbeat and competitive. That's the main thing. We had a great game with Sturgeon Bay last Tuesday night, and we played very competitive there, but it's tough when you always have a week off here. We were going to try to possibly do a game with Southern Door, but the weather didn't cooperate and all that. So, you just got to stay competitive, and I know with the boys working hard this weekend because everybody up in Door County needed workers for this weekend, that we had a great practice last night, and everybody was upbeat. So if we can bring the same attitude and everything else that we had last night to tonight's game, we should be fine.
Obviously, you had a couple losses heading into that Sturgeon Bay game. How important was it for you to enter the tournament with a win, I should say? Not necessarily on a winning streak, but with at least a win going into it.
We've been playing pretty good baseball right now. Yeah, we did lose to Oconto, who is second best team in the conference, and we lost to them 7-6. We gave them a run for their money, and I tell you what, I was very happy after that ball game. With the way we performed and everything. So, losses are losses, but there's a lot of things you can learn from losses, and we like to play a lot of tough teams, and I think Mike Propson and Todd Michaels for scheduling the Tuesday night game against Sturgeon Bay because, we went down there and both teams played unbelievable baseball, and we had a good time and won the game 2-0, and there was a lot of bright spots there. We had our first airless game, and it showed because, there we are. We win the ball game when we don't commit errors, and Noah Green pitched an unbelievable game for us, a two-hitter, and that was what it took, and we played great as a team. So, you can say it's tough to lose games and all that. It is, but you learn a lot from losing, and the way we performed against Oconto was outstanding. So I was very happy with that.
Speaking of learning, you did play Sevastopol, obviously, earlier this season, being a conference opponent. You beat them 17-9. When you reflect on that game, what really sticks out to you?
It really doesn't matter what the records are or anything like that. Whenever you play when Gibraltar and Sevastopol play, it's going to be a good ball game. That ball game, the final score is blowing way out of proportion. Sevastopol and us, we were back and forth all the way until I think it was the bottom of the sixth inning when we kind of blew it open with a grand slam home run from Ryan Jorgensen, otherwise it was a well matched up game, and Coach Ash and we talk a lot, and we got both scenarios. If our boys aren't going to commit errors, we're going to have a good game. Last week Thursday, I think I went and watched the game, and I think Sevastopol had one error, and they played one heck of a game. And that's it's a tale of two teams, and we're both in the same boat.
And with that game kind of in your rearview mirror, how are you approaching tonight's game against the Pioneers?
You take one game at a time, and it's like you're playing. It's like you're playing the best team in the state, because now that if it's one and done, so you got to perform well, and you got to just try to do everything the best that you can.
Does it give you a little extra hope for this game, knowing that in the past this is really when your players have shined, and really your players, when it comes to any of the sports they've done, the playoff light turns on and they really perform?
Yeah, and I think the players believe in that too quite a bit because, I mean, the last night's practice was one of the best practices that we had all year. And I just feel that they really performed nicely, last night in practice. And yeah, usually Gibraltar does take a step up once that tournament comes around.
Very good. Fill in the blank time, Coach. Gibraltar moves on to Wednesday's regional final if your team is able to do what against Sevastopol?
Play air-free ball, throw strikes. Like the old saying is, hit the darn ball, field the darn ball, and throw the darn ball. And that's what baseball is all about, and that's just what we got to do every game in and game out. And that was Chief Billerbeck's favorite sayings when he said it, and I hold it true to that. And if we do all three of those, we're going to be just fine.
It's a county grudge match this afternoon at Billerbeck Field in Fish Creek, where Gibraltar will host Sevastopol in their tournament opener with a chance at the regional final on Wednesday online. Coach, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you after the game.
All right, thank you.
And you're listening to the new Radio Sports Network.